welcome back to Youth Matters. I'm your host Azka, and I have a very special guest with me today, Arina Shafia.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited.
How are you, Arina?
I'm good. I'm very good. So how are you?
I'm pretty good as well. So today we're gonna have like a short discussion where I'll be asking you questions one by one, and then you'll be telling me your opinions about it.
Alright,
so like today's
sure.
topic is movie fantasy versus reality. Do you really know the difference between the two?
Yeah. In my opinion, yeah, because I do love watching movies. So maybe in my opinion, it's a good topic for you, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start. I'll read out questions one by one, and then you'll tell me your opinion.
Alright, sure.
Okay. So like the first question is, do you think movies are overly fantasized?
Wow, yeah, usually yes, movies are overly fantasized because I think like, in my point of view is where if there's no kind of movie is not overly fantasized, and I feel like if it's not fantasized, it's gonna be a bit boring if you watch,
No one would watch it then,
yeah, so it must be fantasized, but there's a limit to it
I
in some
understand.
sort of way, yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask you like the second question.
Alright, sure.
Why do people love watching fantasy movies?
Wow.
What do you think about it?
I think for me, right, people want to escape from reality.
I see.
Yeah, because for them, maybe it's, the real world is very cruel for some people. So they just want to escape, maybe like daydreaming for a while, just to calm themselves.
I see.
So yeah.
Okay. So I'll ask you the third question then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, after watching a fantasy movie, do you think like youth gets lost in the fantasy rather than focusing on the cruel reality?
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, right now I feel like teenagers, youth, they watch movies and they feel like they don't want to be in this real world. So they do want to daydream about, fantasize anything they want, imagine what they want basically. Because I feel like youth and teenage now, especially now, they feel like pressured, depressed
like
about
some
something,
stress or like something that is going on in their life.
Yeah, so they just want to escape for a while,
I see.
and just fantasize what they want.
So you think they really get lost in the thoughts of fantasy when they watch a movie?
Yes.
Okay. I'll ask you the next question. Do you think like should movies continue to like make overly fantasized movies?
I think there's a limit to it because some movies they are very fantasized too much in terms of films, and I feel like youth nowadays, teenagers, they believe what they see in movies. So they need to tone down a bit, especially young children or anything. If they have like, struggles in their life, they can believe like truly on the movies. So I think there's a limit to it when do fantasize movies.
Okay,
yes.
okay. What do you think like are the effects of living in a fantasy? Like when you're watching a movie, what do you think are like effects? Like if you watch a fantasy movie, what do you think are the effects on like a person?
Depends though. In my opinion, there's negative and positive in it. For me, when I'm in my worst days, I used to fantasize a lot in terms of to calm me down because sometimes I have like mentally breakdown or anything.
I see.
I just do fantasize just to calm myself and my to let my anxiety down a bit. So in terms of that, it's positive, but there's a negative sides where I feel like if you fantasize a lot in movies, like if you fantasize daydreaming a lot, you get into deep in that because I feel like when you're into deep, you lose touch of the reality of what's going on. You don't focus on reality too much.
Yeah.
So when it affects your emotions basically and your mental health, and when you daydream a lot and every day, when you're in reality, you don't accept the reality what you want because you fantasize a lot.
You tend to like daydream.
Yeah, so that's the negative side of it.
I see.
So it's very dangerous actually.
Yeah, true.
It's very dangerous because right now, youth, teenagers right now, they are very fragile in some sort of way because
Very
I
emotional.
feel like they are alone in some sort of way. They, maybe they have like some sort of problems in their school or their family, so they easily fantasize a lot in that. So if they're going too deep into that, it's so dangerous that the reality hits them. They don't accept it too much,
true.
and it will comes to worse in that. So yeah, I think that's the effect.
Yeah, like effects. Yeah. Do you think like these types of movies make a person less capable of thinking about complex situations because they're like very simple and straightforward?
Yeah, I think for me, they do straightforward sometimes, but sometimes what I think is society right now, feel like when they see a movie, they see like, oh, they look like a bad guy. So in reality, they see like, oh, some people with tattoos or some people with that, they see like, oh, they're bad guys. Actually, they're not. So basically, some good people are bad actually, but some bad people, they look bad, they is a good person. I have some friends that like, you know, have tattoos and they have like broken homes. People think that they are so bad that we cannot friends with them, but actually you can. It depends on your attitude and your personality. If you're good, then you're good. If you're bad, that's different story.
So you're basically saying that like fantasy movies have made it, oh, this is like purely good guy, this is a purely bad guy.
Sometimes.
But in reality, even like good persons have like a bad face.
Yeah, because like I think like when you watch a movie, for me, for young generation right now, I feel like they say when they see some sort of like characters, they say like, oh, I feel like this guy is a bad guy, and when they grow older, they feel like, oh, I don't want to go, like I don't want to, you know, mingle with this person because
I don't want to become friends with
because
them. They avoid it.
Yeah. So I feel like some sort of way, like they all really fantasize in that because there's a positive and negative into that. So yeah.
Okay, I think that's all for my questions today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for taking out time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we'll end our show today. Thank you all for watching, and that's all for our show.